Hi, hello, welcome back. So, in the last video, we are done with the texturing part. So, okay, that looks good. I'll do one small design over here, so I'll do some extruding, or I can scale it little bit. Okay, top view. Okay, okay, fine. Right click, extrude individual face. Yeah, like this. Okay, so it looks good. So, okay, Control A, rotation and scale. Go to the edit mode, select A, apply the bevel. That looks good for me. Okay, fine. So now let us see the lighting setup and how to apply the camera and all. Before we go to that, I'll add one plane over here. Shift A, and type plane. Okay, shift scale it, make it bigger. Okay, so you need to bring this to the bottom. Okay, fine. Okay, so this is done. So the texturing is done. Okay, so how to add the camera? Shift A, you come down your camera. So how to go inside the camera? You need to press 0 in number pad. Okay, so now you're in the view of camera. Let me multiply the views. Okay, so one I'll take perspective. Again, if you press 0, you will come out of the camera. One I'll go to the perspective, one will be on the camera. So now how to move the camera? Once you go inside the camera, if you scroll, you won't able to move the camera. So I'll show in two ways how can you move the camera. One, using manual by selecting the camera in outliner or here. Okay, then you can move the camera over like this. Okay, so it is bit difficult to adjust, right? But it is easy to adjust by weaving through the camera. Means we can do some navigation weaving through the camera. So how to do that means press N button. So when you press the N button, it will open some options over here. One is item, tool, and we come to the view. I'll just extend a little bit. See, in the view there is an option called camera to view. Click this option. Now if you move, see, the camera will also move according to your view. Okay, you can also do some rotation like this, or you can place the camera. You can also do some navigation, the panning. Okay, so for me, I don't want the image to be my rendering image to be in a landscape or a landscape ratio, or the resolution. I want to change the resolution. Then you need to come to the output properties in the properties panel. Here you need to change the resolution. So I'll give 180 on the width also, 180 on the width also. So it will get the 1:1 ratio of resolution. Okay, so next, so after you doing this, or we select the camera, right? You can come to the camera properties. I like to keep the focal length to the 70 mm. So when you change the focal length, the focal length will be different here. So I'll just zoom little bit out and I'll keep the camera angle like this. Okay, so this is done. So after this, next there's one more option called field, depth of field. We'll see this later on some other video. Okay, so right now let it be like this. So this is done. Okay, So now let me add some lights. So shift A. There are lights. In the light there are point light, sun, spot and area. So in every video we'll see different lights. How can we use different kind of lights? Okay, so in this video for right now I'll use one light called sunlight. Okay, I'll use the sunlight. So I got the sunlight. So how do you know? See, you can move the the lights over like this. You can rotate the lights of, especially this one. I'm talking about the sunlight. When I'm talking, when I'm using any light, I'll be talking on that particular light. So this is the sunlight. So here you should be knowing of how the physics works. Also you should have some basic concepts of physics. So basically how the sun works, how the in earth how the sun will rise and set, right? You should be know about those things. So now whether the sunlight is working or not, how to check this means, first go to the texture mode. So after you going to the texture mode, come to the this small button, click here, click on the scene lights and scene world. So there is a sun. See, there is a sun. See, now you can see the very dim tone of the sun is there. Okay, so what I'll do means I'll here when you need to come to the properties of the lights. So we added the sunlight. Now we have we turn on the scene lights and scene mode so that we can get to know how much, what is the intensity of the light right now. So the strength is 1. Let me give like around 10. See, now the intensity of the light is too much. See, that is 10.00. okay, so what I'll do means I'll keep it for 5 or else 6 or 7. Let me give 7. Okay, this is good. So where is the sun right now? The light of the sun, it's in the top. That's why you can see the light is passing over here and the shadow is casting over here. So now what I'll do means I'll change the direction of the sun. Okay, I'll just bring it here and I'll rotate it. I'll rotate it like this. So now what happens? Where the sun is passing here, right? So the shadow is over here, and here it is, we are getting the shadow all over here. Okay, so another thing we need to think about that. Okay, before you may ask, basically the sun will be in orange or yellowish, right? We can change the color of the light. Come here, change the color. That's it. Okay, change the color, and we have to see the what rendering right now it is working on. Come to the rendering setting here, change to EV2 cycles. I like cycles. It would give much better output than EV. Sometimes EV is better than cycle, sometimes. Okay, so you can also check with the live rendering how the live rendering is happening. Before that, I'll just change the, bring it over here. Okay, this is good. So we need to check how the live rendering, you can also check with the live rendering. This is the live rendering, but make sure if your system is really good, go for the live rendering. Click here. Now it's live rendering. It will the computer will be taking lots of resources right now. Okay, you can also change your CPU to GPU compute so that it will your graphics will if you don't change, it will, the resource will be taking from your CPU processor, not from the graphics. So okay, well, my system will be good for this polygon. It is working good, not bad. Still it is hanging slightly, not too much, slightly. See here you can see the light is going inside the the glass. See the reflection, all the things you can see over here, and see this glass. Okay, understood, right? So I'll just come back to the texture mode. So what I'll do means I like to go for the not live render, I'll go to directly to the render. I like to test the render by using direct render, so that it won't take much resource of my computer. So I'll come to the render image. Shortcut is F12. Okay, it's rendering. You can see here. So it's rendering entire image. So here you can see what the samples is 40 by 96. Okay, it's too much for me. It is telling 12 minutes. Sorry, 12 seconds. So okay, I'll just press escape to cancel right now. Yeah, I'll just close this. So what I'll do means I'll go to the render settings. Here viewport and render. It is 4090, right? I'll type 200. 200 is enough. And I'll go to the some light paths. So I'll give total is 12, right? I'll increase all this to 12. So there is a glass, so transmission should be 12. Okay, volume, let me give 12. This also transparent is it 8 is it? I'll give 12. And I'll come down, go to the film. Here click on the transparent and transparent glass, so that we can see the transparent glass when we render it. Okay, then I'll come to the performance. There's something called use styling. So what is this means? When I click on render image, entire image is going to render. So as I said, your system will be running, or the processor, motherboard, or the graphics card, or CPU, the RAM, entirely working on for this entire image right now. Okay, so it is taking lots of resource from your computer. So sometimes it will damage your computer. Okay, it might happen. You might get operating system might get crashed, or it might be sometimes RAM may get damaged, or graphics can get damaged. So that if you have limited resource, so always try to render minimum pixels. How to do that means, after coming into the film on render settings, come inside the performance. In this there is something memory. Using the memory, use styling. There is 2040 tile size. So I'll give 100, means 100 pixels. Okay, I'll just save this. Now I'll press F12 for render. See now it's rendering only this pixel. This means this is 100 pixels. Well, see, the rendering is completed. Okay, so now the rendering is complete. You can see this glass. Okay, one thing what we did means, here we have changed the glass in the front, but we didn't change the glass in the back side, so that we can see the wood. So right now it's in slot 1. I'll change to slot 2. I'll minimize this, then I'll come to the Windows section. I'll press Shift H. See, I said no. So what do you need to do? You need to make it this one also glass, or you can delete the face. You can delete the face. Front, if you press 9, back. Okay, just select all these faces. Okay, then press delete faces. So this is done. Then in the same way, I think it got deleted over this also. Yes, good. That's good. What about this? Yeah, for this one also, that's good. Then Alt H. So now I'll press F12. Now the rendering is happening on slot 2. Okay, see, now you can see the difference. This is the slot 1 and slot 2. Slot 1, there was a wooden piece, so we just deleted that. Okay, so why it got deleted in all the windows we just deleted in one window, but it was also deleted in all the windows because we have did the instance duplicate, not normal duplicate. It was instant duplicate, remember that. Okay, so when you do instant duplicate, this is the advantages of that. Okay, so this is done. So this is how you can render and adjust the light setup and the camera and all. So now I'll add one more light that is not using the inbuilt light in the blender, like we used to add some light sunspot area, right? So now I'm not going to add any of this light. I'll add something called image light. It's called HDRI light, where the image will be, the light was captured in all the 360 degree of the real life image. So I'll add that image. I'll show you how to add that one here. Okay, so before that what you need to do means, so in this website you can click on the HDRIs. So you can choose any one of the HDRI here. So how to choose HDRI lights from any website means, you need to see the reflection in all these three these three materials. So I should feel there will be some lots of reflection. So there's no reflection here, less reflection. I can get some reflection. It's good reflection, but I also want something outer world image. Yeah, this one is good for me. This one is good for indoor, inside. If your interior thing you're doing, this will be good. This is good for me. So I'll click on this. I'll just download 1K HDR. So this is the HDR file. Okay, we can't directly drag and drop on this. What you need to do, copy the path, go to the blender, go to the shading. Okay, go to the shading, change your object to world. See, this is the just what you need to do means, this is the background, right? So what you can do means, there's one node called environment image, env, environment texture. Bring this, open. I'll just paste the path. So you can see the HDRI image here. Open this image. Okay, now let's see the texturing. So this was in slot 2, right? I'll go for slot 3 now. Press F12. Now you'll see some difference in the lightings. So the rendering is done. Now let's see what's the difference between the previous render and this render. We'll go to slot 2. This is the previous one, and this is the which we did. So which one looks better? This one looks better because we added the real life image lighting. Okay, that is called HDRI. Okay, so now this looks really good. Now if you want to change some camera angle, and you can render again. I'll just add some the background, this thing. Go to the edge mode, select this. Okay, T, okay, extrude, and I'll just extrude it. Okay, so you also need to check in the camera view how it is looking. Okay, so I'll just select this one also, both. Okay, extrude. Okay, fine. Okay, now I'll render it. Okay, this is done. So now you can see the rendering is completed. Okay, so you can see the one I added the sunlight, so that is the shadow which is I'm getting over here. Okay, so this looks good for me. So if you want to save the image, come here, image, save as. You can save it one as the image. I'll call this one, call it as rendered. You can you can choose the different types of format, and if you want alpha, you can choose RGB alpha or just RGB or black and white. That's your wish. Okay, and color depth, what kind of color depth you require. So I'll just click on save image. So now I'll just check this. So you can see, so this is my saved image, which is rendered one. Okay, so like this you can do the modeling and rendering in Blender. Okay, so there's still a lot to talk about the lighting and camera related things. Okay, we'll in upcoming videos we'll see that there are lots of things to need to be understand, and about the related to the rendering things, and also the lighting, and how to give the camera angles and some properties of camera. So we need to understand in depth. So I'll give you the one class for that, one video for that related to the lighting, on with some example also. So because it depends on what model it is. For example, exterior will give you different kind of lightings, interior will give you different kind of lightings, and also if you're doing some product modeling or animation, it gives you some different kind of lightings. Okay, you need to use different kind of lights also. So that's the reason. So we need to understand the lighting techniques and camera angles, and also the rendering properties in depth in upcoming videos. And also we'll see some other things on modeling related things. How can we model the character and automobiles, and how to do the the animals, the wildlife animals, or the whatever it is. Okay, all these things, and how to create a environment in Blender. So we'll see that in the upcoming videos. Thank you.